man, I forgot Karen Chugga was fighting today. He lost to Paddy Donovan. Let's talk about it. Boots resume coming down. You make my love come down. Oh, you make my love come down. So it's an IBF eliminator. The guy he was fighting, Paddy Donovan, had already been disqualified versus Lewis Crocker, who holds the IBF title. So he's already been disqualified. Apparently there was some controversy. He was a late replacement ref, and she called a push to the side of the head and knockdown. But he did knock him down early in the fight. Paddy Donovan scored 2 knockdowns. One was too legit to quit, and the other one was illegitimate. I don't know what the main event was, but we about to learn it. But I just know Boots' resume just bow. They buzzing it. It just took some shots without Teflon. On. And then Rick Ross had that album called Teflon Don. But it's, Boots' resume didn't have a Teflon on it. So this might have been the main event. So this is over there in Germany. Yeah, I don't know nobody else on here. But they were the main event. I feel like I'm signed in. Yes, I am. So I don't know why I can't see the scores on BoxRec somewhere. So I don't know what the scores were, but I'm gonna go get that information real quick. And he out here struggling with Paddy Donovan. Now Paddy Donovan only got 2 losses. One being the DQ to Lewis Crocker. I think we'll get to that. And then another one being a split decision loss to Lewis Crocker. So now he wants to fight Lewis Crocker a third time. They about to have a Euro party. Karen Chukhadzhian is saying that Boots is gonna stop. He said Boots was gonna stop. What's my man's name? Xander's IS. So can we get the scores, brother? Can we get the song? I don't know what's up with giving us the scores. Sheesh. I feel like that's something they should lead off with in their articles, but they not leading off with the score. Yeah, they're not showing the scores. I don't know why BoxRec stopped showing the scores. Let me see if we can find the scores somewhere. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we gonna get it. Sorry. So I'm guessing it was a close fight. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Shout out to Google AI. So we got it right here. So they fought the SAP Arena to secure. So he won 115, 111, 114. Yeah, that knockdown definitely would have. Yeah, that would have. Yeah, then Karen Chukhadzhian would have won. So, but I mean, it don't surprise me. But Boots opponents, we wanted to see, Chukhadzhian, versus I feel like versus a Norman or maybe even a T.O. or Haney perhaps or something like that. So that's kind of what we wanted to see. But he lost to Paddy Donovan. May it be illegitimate, but he ain't a big puncher or nothing like that. So I mean, I'm not surprised. Boots fought somebody out the deep. Now, had he would beat him and he went on to, do great things throughout his, going to do great things. I mean, I think he would have been a nightmare mismatch for, Teofimo Lopez. But He had to get in the game with a title eliminator, which I'm not mad at it. Get a title eliminator, you could be a world champion. But I think people wanted to see if this guy could have became a world champion, and he didn't become a world champion. Now he didn't become a world champion. Now, I'm not saying he can't get a world title, but it doesn't boost Vu's resume because, if you go look at Vu's resume, you got to ask yourself, what else have somebody else done? I know, we can go look at his resume, but this is not an indictment on him as a fighter. It's just an indictment on the resume. I made a comment where boxing, they always look at that. They use the eye test as the measurement, the measuring stick for how good a fighter is. It's about the opponents. The resume tell you everything. And this is why you see guys who may struggle early on, who is match made tough, and they survive the fire. And, they might come up back in the day 2, 3, 4, 5 losses, but then they might be the best fighter around. They got jobbed a little bit. They bumped their heads. They learned a little bit. But, I say it all the time, we all take losses. But Vu's resume is looking real fraudulent. It is fraudulent. Sometimes you have, interest, you have, accrued interest in your resume, and you look at it. Stay on this. He ain't did shit. He was coming off a super long layup. Chukhadzhian was on the doorstep of a title. It didn't work. David Avanesian, I heard he an anesthesiologist now, putting motherfuckers to sleep, beat them up like Ike beat Tina. I'm joking about him being an anesthesiologist. Rio Monvila, he probably back overseas, chilling. Yeah, he fought Boots and he lost his next 2 out of 3. Got stopped in 2 out of 3 of his fight. His next fight, he got stopped in the 3rd round. But he did what it took Boots 10 rounds to do. Ricardo Aiden Salas Rodriguez at the T-Mobile Arena did it in 1, 2, 3. I don't know what undercard was this on. What card? So this is on Berlanga and Canelo Alvarez. So, he got packed up. So he ain't going, he may not do nothing. He come back and knock out, go to Panama City, and he knocks out, he's from Venezuela, but resides in Colombia. Great move for him. They're right next door to each other, though. He knocks out Alexander Duran in Panama City in the Roberto Duran Arena in 4, and then he just get outboxed by Francisco Daniel Brown. Now, Salas, he on the hell of a fight run because he lost to Julio Luna Avila. Julio, and he lost early in his career, split decision. So ever since he lost in 2021, split decision, he had a couple draws in there, but for the most part, he been stopping shit. He ain't fight nobody though, but or some of the guys, but he been on the up and up, So he been on the up and up. So he might have just ran into a real one. Who else did he fought? Custio Clay. What old Custio been doing? Custio probably opened a custard spot out there. He lost the Boots. He came back just under a couple years later, had a split decision win versus Courtney Pennington. That's in 2024. It's been over 2 years later. We ain't heard from him. It's boring. And my Gucci boys. We ain't heard. Thomas Delore, man, I heard he, I don't know what he doing. He fought Victor Ortiz in 2024, about over 2 years ago. Ain't heard from him since. He fought Boots about 4 and some change ago, 4.5 years ago. He beat Abraham Peralta 1911 in San Domingo. Sound like an interesting place. Then he fought Virgil Ortiz. My bad, he lost to Virgil Ortiz. Damn, he fought Virgil Ortiz. Where the fuck was I at? Oh, that was the first round knockout. Whoa, Virgil Ortiz was bum bash on this way back, wasn't he? And he ain't been seen since. Well, when did Boots get him out of there in the first round? Yeah, Yeah, this resume, man. What Lippy is, that was his and honor. That was it. That was his baby. That's his baby. I'm your baby tonight. Whatever you want from me, whatever you want from me, I'm your baby tonight. He fought Omar Figueroa. Ooh, in 2022, Omar Figueroa, man, that's like wearing that fucking 8-ball jacket in 2026. Yeah. He lost to Michelle Rivera. Oh, he dropped back down in weight. Okay. He lost to Michelle Rivera. I mean, what Michelle Rivera been doing? I know. Didn't somebody get him an ass whooping? Somebody whooped. Oh, Frank Martin. Yeah, Frank Martin beat him. But he on a 3-fight win streak. He ain't fought since last September. But we ain't here to talk about him. Robbie Davies sound like a UK fighter. Absolutely. Fought Robbie Davis. He beat Robbie Davies. Ooh, on Pro Box after Pro Box. Then he's lost. He lost to Michelle Rivera. Since he fought Boots, he had 1, 2, 3 losses. He lost to Michelle Rivera. He lost to Adam Azim in Wembley Stadium. And then he lost to Arthur, whoever. Both these dudes undefeated, though. Arthur Adam Azim is undefeated. I think he a young hotshot prospect. They might have fought in Riyadh. I could be wrong about that. Did they? No, they fought in Wembley. So yeah, I think he's a hotshot young guy. I could be wrong. He looked like, and then he lost to Arthur something. He from Russia. Now he doing the better BF shit to Canada. Yeah, that motherfucker 21-0 and 17 KOs. He out here clipping niggas' wings. Jesus giving wings. The Angels, man, he clipping them. God. Yeah, but he ain't fought. He fought in April. He stopped Jimmer Espinoza. He knocked that Mexican clean the fuck out. He had 3 losses. That was his first time getting. Boy, these Mexicans, I think they be getting jobbed over there in Mexico. Boy, it's a bunch of draws and shit, man. I don't be believing their record. But hey, Boots' resume, solid as a rock. No, that shit trash. It's getting trashier by the day. That nigga CJ trash. Chukhadzhian, boom, boom, boom. He could have built interest with his resume. Hot garbage, not garbage. Hot garbage. Heat the garbage. Woman up, Kane. Woman up, Kane. Woman up. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram. Join the Patreon. I updated it. I'm gonna find a way to put that Foster film study on, or I'm just gonna give it away for the frisky. Appreciate y'all. Peace.